Okay, you guys, so I tried to record the full video, but unfortunately, it deleted for some odd reason, but I'm back. Anyways, sorry. And you told them people to get off your mountain. Now you wanna leave. 4 years she was in his house. Not even you all. And she left and ain't come back. I mean, left and came back. She wanted to be there. Bitch, you was free. The fuck? Exactly.
towards my eye. You could hear a really loud pop right in the corner of my eye, and ripped a 3-4 inch gash right under my eye. 4 more bites hit right down on my skull. It was like you had a faucet on your head, and all you saw was blood. All you saw was red. I reached over the cat's head, which was still locked onto mine, undid the knife out of my hand, reached back, felt 2 soft spots, if you will, and as hard as I could, shoved my thumb into what would turn out to be the cat's right eye. He made just this loud, squealing chirp, and the claws loosened up. I threw my head back up on the trail, jumped back up, and the cat was down sideways, looking off to my right. The eye was all gray and mushy. I saw a volleyball, basketball side rock halfway in the dirt. So I ripped that out and overhead through it. Wham! Slammed right into the cat's side, and the cat kind of shuffled a few more steps down, and I realized, go, get out of here. Hopefully, I have enough time. So I'm running down this trail. I have 2.5+ miles to still get down this trail. You would see the blood dropping down on the trail on your shoes. And when I turned around, hoping, don't come at me. But right there at the corner was one of the pine trees. And right on the inside of that pine tree, sure enough, there's a mountain lion looking right at me.
It was like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde moment where his whatever switch he had, it was flipped. And now he's more evil. He's yelling at me. He's growling at me. He's pulling me down by my clothing, and he's ripping my blouse.
She should have said she had HIV.
I know exactly.
Then he would have left then. That would have been. But my biggest fear is to say that if somebody trying to rape me and they say me too, I die. So you have to be mindful of what you say, boy. Won't that kill you?
Bitch, I would just fall out.
I'd be like, I was just playing. And what if you say I wasn't?
Ooh, bitch.
That'll be some shit.
Bitch, I would
Boy.
just faint, bitch. I would just
Like,
die.
damn, I done got myself in this and now I'm stuck.
My skin settled.
That'll be some shit though. I always tell people that, what if somebody raping you and you say you got something and they say me too? I just want to drop in a big black hole.
Like, just kill me now.
Yeah. For real.
The feeling of loss of control it's just indescribable. That I had to consent to this stranger violating me in the most brutal way.
Okay guys, so we're back. We're gonna start the bang. And we're not doing it thick. We're doing a nice natural looking bang. The kind that nobody can't do but me.
This motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
And I took about 2 more steps and realized, you gotta be kidding me. No, I don't know. No more. I'm done.
Oh, you wanted your mountain to yourself. Now you done. Huh?
Killing them choppy
And I
babies.
turned back around, and instead of seeing the cat, I saw a transparent face of Jesus.
Oh, that's him that wanted to bounce or something?
Yeah, he said, yeah, that's right. Get off my mountain. To the people that was
And it just
hiking.
chill of
I was 24. I wanted to be grown. And yeah, now that mountain lion ran down. And you don't want to be who you said you wanted to be. Get out of the video, sis.
was hanging down from the ground. It's like I had a red mask on. The blood was still dripping. The shoes, blood was all over the shoes. And the forehead was hanging, sagging down from the gash so you could see the skull.
The 4 women he told to get off his mountain. I would have said, don't say nothing to me.
Bitch, keep
What's
going.
wrong with you? Don't say nothing to me.
Say, hi, how's your day? We're now dragging me. Feet were practically off the ground, dragging me that last half mile.
Bitch, you would have been left right there.
Right, yeah. No, it was so fucking funny on one of them. It wasn't funny, but a lady had got a man got in her house. She was with him for 3 nights.
No, it was a man watching her for 3 days.
Oh. It was he had got in her house. He ended up getting in her house and he was fucking her ass up, girl. So the neighbors heard her screaming to come help her. How about when the neighbor grabbed to help her? The man who was killing her said she got HIV. But she didn't have HIV, but he didn't want them to help her. So when she said that, the neighbor just dropped her, like, oh my God. Like what? And she was like, I don't have HIV. He was taking it to her ass, boy.
He was stabbing her?
He was stabbing. She was full of blood. He had stabbed her up real bad.
He's gonna take this knife and
Bitch, I would have dropped her.
So motherfucking fast.
She would be good at drawing.
What if
I'm going in with white bonding glue, you guys.
do I want to die on the floor as a victim, or do I want to live with the stigma of actually being raped?
Girl,
In the middle,
live, because he wouldn't.
I feel the door hitting me, the outside door, and the person is pushing against the door.
Did he
and I look
stab
up and
her?
I see my neighbor. He
The
pushes
attacker
his way-
jumped
he's
off
pushing
in
the door,
his-
pushing the door,
oh.
until he pushes his way out. My neighbor had his 10-year-old daughter.
Oh, wow.
He pushes her behind him. That's when he runs away. He never really talks to the neighbor. He just ran away.
You really that brave? You raped somebody in an apartment building hallway? Now that's a
some
different
nasty
type of
shit.
sick. That's sad.
About 4 days into the week
Bitch,
that
you did- if this hair was black.
I got
Huh?
Y'all know the one lady on the scary movie who had a hair front of her face?
identified.
That's what I'm looking at this camera.
Oh, not the Conjuring, I
yeah,
think.
it's something like that.
And I identified him. And I asked them how did they catch him, and they went into how the next night he attacked a 13-year-old.
Oh my
my
God.
God.
No, that's some sick shit.
And she was 14 at the time.
Wait, he died? No.
Behind bars?
No.
I wonder how.
Mm-mm.
Show them.
Probably getting raped.
That
Well,
bitch should have lived a long, miserable ass life in prison.
Hopefully he lived a short, miserable one.
I don't like when they die. I want a bitch
I
to torture
hate
them.
when they die.
I want a bitch to torture them for a minute before they die.
Like, no, come here as soon as they die. Revive them. That mountain I ain't got. Order from the door with him.
From the tear. I had about 2 feet of bite marks, 70 staples, which set a record. A surgeon mentioned at Swedish Medical Center.
Oh, I gotta call it. I don't know, see if they give me some. A trial data contest.
That was the changing thing in my life to give me a whole new priority,
Sure
a
needs
whole new
more.
life, and now I can live to help.
I don't like the new brand they gave me,
Smile,
because them
like I was
jumps is
related to
horrible.
that past on.
They too thick or something. I can feel them on my eyes. Or like when I used to have my old ones, I ain't used to feel them, but them new ones, I ain't like
I
them.
gave him my heart, I gave him my trust, and now I have a best friend
I
relationship.
want
with
LASIK
Jesus
when I'm so
and my
scared.
Savior.
They said somebody doing it for $99. I said, bitch, I'm back and be blind.
Bitch, right.
I was like, oh no, I ain't doing
Play
that.
by my eyes.
Me either. They already bad. Fuck around and be. My friend had lost his vision. I don't know if he was driving when he did, but he just wasn't able to see no more. I was like, oh my God.
That's my biggest fear.
Yes. Or not being able to use my motherfucking legs.
Why are you in my house?
Or here,
Why are
bitch.
you
For real, that'll probably run you crazy.
For 10 years. And all she went was, okay. And she just went and sat in the kitchen and stared out the window. Then his dad comes downstairs, says, what's going on? And they tell him, and he just stood in the corner in the dining room. He was literally 3 feet away from me. And as I was reading my victim impact statement, he kept leaning over, saying, I'm sorry. And I said to him, shut up. 'Cause I'm-
Oh, now you wanna
got
talk?
balls, bitch. You had
Damn.
freedom and
He
everything.
looked like a fucking.
Ugh.
Oh.
Dirty, nasty son of a dog.
She done pissed me off somebody I said shut up.
You wanna be brave. Girl, you was a loose.
sadistic.
And he let you get on the bus and everything, and now you want to have the balls to speak.
The reason why he
Okay, you guys, so I have everything bundled in. Now I'm gonna cut the vein.
We had bought some Maybach chairs, and we were sleeping all night. All of a sudden, probably about, I don't know, about an hour after I had went to sleep, my baggage just started moving.
And I always cut the vein short, longer than what I'm gonna do it. That way I can just chop in layers. So with the long end,
Kind of woke me up, and I was like, oh my God, there's water on the boat. Old James, I said, James, there's water on the boat. He said, that's because we're on the ocean, fool. And it was funny at the moment. But when he stood up, he was like, oh my God, there's water on the boat.
then he just say
Water on the boat. What are we gonna do now?
one of them, the whole, the man and his wife, they 2 daughters and they 2 son-in-laws, and everybody died except the daddy and the daughters.
Bitch, you might as well
and we didn't have time.
The daddies, all the husbands died and their mama died.
Oh, damn, all my people died?
30 seconds when this all happened.
You're crazy as hell like that.
And it just started tilting more and more until it just completely capsized.
My fiance was out at his best friend's bachelor party. And I was
You order
sitting
Chinese
with him.
food?
Back
I
at the
said when you
apartment.
serve them,
It
they
was
person
pretty late when
Yeah.
I decided that it was time to go home, and I called him to let him know I was on my way home. My friends had offered to follow, just to make sure I got home okay.
I thought he said he ordered Chinese food. He said, damn, you just said you ordered
And
Chinese food.
he don't eat it.
Oh.
We've been stopped eating it, but he won't eat it. He won't eat I did.
So they wanted to make sure that I got home okay. And told them I didn't need any help, and went ahead and left their place.
And this bang is meant to be how you want it to be. It's not a certain way to do it. And I always try to do mine choppy
Out of the ordinary,
as
I
possible.
pulled in a parking space under one of the street lamps, and
So I just go in sections. I cut it first with the razor, and then once I start flat ironing, I still go back over and cut it some more. And then when I'm done, I still cut more. I just pick with it until I'm satisfied. Because I like it to look very natural, like the back full, but the bang is very natural looking.
And I said hi. Thinking he was just a regular guy leaving, to go somewhere late at night. And he pulled a gun and demanded all my belongings. It was a small pistol. It was 9mm. So, I'd been around guns before, so I knew my way around them, and I knew which end I didn't want to be on. Your mind kind of goes numb when you see a weapon. It's all you can see. I didn't see him. I just saw, the barrel, and I dropped everything at his feet and kind of stepped to the side backwards and just froze. And he bent down and picked up my belongings and had the gun on me the entire time. And picked up my keys and said, "Come on, we're going to your car."
I would have said, no, we not, because I don't got no car. So whatever you got to finna do, you finna do it here.
He asked me which key opened up the trunk, and when we got in there, he opened up the trunk.
And as soon as he would have got in the car, I would have opened the motherfucking trunk and got out. Thank you. Because I knew if I would have got in, I was going to die anyway, so I would have just took my chances trying to run.
The person that stabbed me came over, stood next to me. He leans over me, and after he tells me that I was going to die, and then he asked me for what's the most expensive thing I have in my house. I told him
The stove, bitch, get it out. That's exactly the stove.
If you like it, I'm going to kill you.
I would have said the refrigerator and the stove.
If you take that, you're welcome to have that.
Whew.
Then he said,
Shit.
who else is in the house?
That's like
There's
I'm
someone else in here. So I'm by myself. There's no one else in the house with me. And he tells me, you ever seen the movie Saw? So this is going to be like Saw. And I'm trying to remember, I've never really seen the movie. I've seen parts of the movie. I knew that it was a fairly bloody movie.
Very.
Talking to me in just this calm voice. He said, here's what we're going to do. You're going to pick A or B. And he says, why haven't you answered? Is it A or B?
I would have said, because I'm not going to motherfucking answer. Y'all going to do what y'all want to do anyway.
And he says, there is no question. You just have to pick which one. A or B.
Nobody can do a bang like me,
Right,
period.
You live, and you can pick the wrong one.
Anyone.
It was pitch black, we couldn't see it. And James and Curtis, they made it back to the bus. And after a while, I said, well, I'm out here for water, maybe the sharks come get me. So I jumped up on the boat.
Oh, nice.
And when the boat actually
It was at the
capsized,
house.
there were probably maybe about 6 feet of the boat that protruded from the water. And we sat up on the pontoon. And we figured, somebody would see it, and we'll get their attention and be rescued. It was complete silence. And it probably lasted for about maybe 3 or 4 hours before anybody spoke a word. We let it till daylight, actually did. The conversation about, what do we have left on the boat? Everything was on top of the boat or just around back chairs, things of that nature. As soon as the boat went over, it went over with it. We had 6 ice
That'd be so great.
and all 6 of the ice
Here
chests
it
were the same. We just figured out what people do from the boat and sell. We
Giving
had,
lace.
3
It's giving lace.
2 bags of chips, a package of 6 individual crackers, 3 cases of beer, and a pack of bubble gum.
And I would have kept it on.
We thought that somebody was surprised because we saw large, boats, helicopters, and so we had life jackets.
Nobody.
And we
Not a fucking soul.
on the boat, and actually tied our t-shirts to that and was using that as a flagpole, trying to flag them down that way. I mean, so we were trying everything we knew to try to, get their attention, but it was still no better. We were joking about helicopters and what we were gonna eat as soon as we got back home, and we were
Come to find out home when it's close as y'all thought it was
things of
home.
that nature. And so that made the day go by a little bit better.
The niggas
So
been
first
on
day,
my
we were
girl.
Yo.
Okay, that sums up the slate. See you guys on the next one. Turn.
Just terrified that he was still there.
Hold it down.
I just
Keep coming. Shake. Period.